Hey YouTube, it's your boy Jane with me, and we got a weekly worst news update. The hell? I didn't know they made these. This is crazy. Let's see what's going on in the United States of America.
43-year-old Nicholas Sabo is accused of shooting an Instacart delivery driver who was delivering an order
Not
at
an
his
Instacart
Newton
delivery
Township,
job.
Pennsylvania home on January 18th. Sabo went
God.
outside to investigate after his home security system alerted him to movement near his family's garage. His wife, who had placed the grocery order without Sabo's knowledge, believed that someone was trying to break into a utility trailer on the property. According to a law enforcement spokesperson, Sabo
That's
shot the delivery man
scary.
in the legs without any sort of confrontation taking place beforehand. The driver ran back to his car where his wife and child were waiting and fled to safety before stopping and calling 911. He underwent surgery at a nearby hospital and is expected to survive. In the meantime,
Oh
police
my
arrested
God.
Sabo on a reckless endangerment charge, and he could face additional charges as the investigation continues.
What the hell, bro? That's crazy. Imagine you just running your errands for the day with your girlfriend and your kids. Like she wrote in the description, put it by the garage door. You put it by the garage door, their alarm system go off. Nigga running outside. Hey, what you doing, boy? Goddamn, the grocery. All I'm doing is getting the goddamn. And you shot. You shot just running your errands, bruh. He was triggered. That man was trigger happy. He couldn't wait until somebody was on his property, bro. That's crazy. See, this is when people got a gun. They just doing anything. I gotta defend my family, bro. Chill, bro. Chill. You didn't even look at the goddamn cameras. All you heard was the detection. You had to. If you looked at the cameras, you would have saw that they dropped something off.
Number 14. Solomon Henderson. 16-year-old Jocelyn Correa Escalante left her Nashville, Tennessee home for school on Wednesday, January 22nd, not knowing that it was the last time she would ever see her family. Later that morning,
God.
17-year-old ROTC cadet Solomon Henderson opened fire in the cafeteria at Antioch High School, killing Escalante and injuring
School
another
shooting?
student. By the time police arrived at the scene, Henderson was also dead from a gunshot wound. Further investigation revealed long-held concerns about the troubled shooter, including past incidents of threatening a teacher and bringing a box cutter to school. Henderson also left behind lengthy writings detailing the troubling mindset that led to his final act of violence. News reports described the teen as a self-loathing anti-Semitic incel who wrote that he was ashamed to be black and cited
He looked crazy. He looked like he don't have no care for life.
conservative political commenter Candace Owens as his biggest inspiration. According to the most recent available updates on the case, police are still working to determine whether Henderson targeted Escalante or if the victim was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Number 13. Gloria Wright. A pregnant Georgia woman who's accused of killing her own son is now in custody after more than 2 weeks on the run. On January 18th, U.S. Marshals apprehended 23-year-old Gloria Wright.
She looked like there's something wrong with her, bro. Like she looked like she. No,
In Rochester, New
I ain't even
York,
going
on
to
a
judge.
warrant out of Rockdale County, Georgia, where Wright's child was found unresponsive in her home 10 days earlier. Emergency responders tried unsuccessfully to resuscitate the child, who was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Police interviewed Wright, but did not have immediate cause for arrest. By the time the boy's death was ruled a homicide, Wright had gone on the run. A $5,000 reward was offered for information leading to the wanted woman's arrest, but authorities have not revealed whether a civilian tip helped lead to Wright's capture. The accused child killer is facing charges of first-degree murder and first-degree cruelty to children. Number 12. David
What the
Mish.
hell?
Best friends Jennifer Dewey and Michelle Xavier were murdered and dumped along a Fremont Hills, California roadside in 1986. But justice didn't come until decades later when DNA from beneath one of the women's fingernails turned up as a match to 63-year-old David Mish. Mish was a known drug user and burglar in the area, and in 2003 he claimed to have witnessed the victims being kidnapped and claimed he had tried to intervene. By then, Mish was serving 18 years to life for another murder. He was charged with the murders of Dewey and Xavier in 2018, and in December 2023, he was convicted of both counts. During Mish's sentencing hearing in January 2025, he began singing 99 bottles of beer on the wall, while one of the victim's relatives delivered an impact statement, prompting the judge to have him removed from the courtroom. Mish was sentenced to 2 consecutive 25-year terms and is currently awaiting trial for the 1988 murder of Michaela Garecht, whose body was never found. Number 11.
What the hell?
Adrian Peeler, a convicted drug kingpin who conspired to kill a woman and her young son, will soon walk free, courtesy of former President Joe Biden's landmark clemency initiative. 48-year-old Adrian Peeler of Bridgeport, Connecticut, served 25 years in state prison for the deaths of Karen Clark and Leroy B.J. Brown, who were shot dead by a home intruder in 1999. He was serving the final 10 years of a concurrent 35-year federal sentence for selling cocaine when clemency was granted. The victims were slated to testify against Peeler's brother, gang leader Russell Peeler, who was accused of killing Clark's boyfriend, rival dealer Rudolph Sneed. 2 years earlier, her son Leroy had witnessed an unsuccessful attempt on Sneed's life by Russell. Peeler reportedly killed Clark and Leroy to prevent them from taking the stand. He's scheduled to be released from prison in July, sparking outrage from conservatives and liberals alike, as well as the victims' loved ones. Speaking with CT Examiner, Karen's brother, Oswald Clark, said, "It's like we are hearing of BJ and Karen's deaths all over again. But this time, their killer is going free."
That's, bro.
Number 10.
The law has a strange way of being finessed. Like, how does he get to see the light of day, but there's people out here who barely even harm people that got way more time than him? But he did a crime during a certain period of time, and it's crazy, bro.
Axel Rudakubana. On July 29, 2024, 18-year-old Axel Rudakubana entered a Merseyside, England dance studio and fatally stabbed Elsie Dot Stancombe, Alice Da Silva Aguiar, and BB King during a Taylor Swift-themed dance class. The prolonged knife attack lasted for 15 minutes as Rudakubana tried to kill several other victims, including the instructor, Leanne Lucas, businessman John Hayes, and 8 other students. After his arrest, Rudakubana said he was glad the victims were dead. He pleaded guilty to multiple counts of murder and attempted murder and was just sentenced to 13 life terms with the possibility of parole after 52 years. The punishment was handed down on January 23rd by Mr. Justice Goose, who said he would have imposed a whole life order, but Rudakubana's age at the time of the murders
That man looked like a demon,
prevented
man.
him from doing so. Rudakubana, who did not attend the sentencing hearing due to his
He looked like he got bullied. Like people used to pick on him.
plans to be disruptive, will be 70 years old when he becomes eligible for parole, but the judge said that it's highly likely that he'll never be freed. Number 9. John Moises Chakagwese Ilbis, Syracuse, New York resident Jocelyn Joanna Toikiza was strangled to death in June of 2024 after celebrating her 21st birthday at an Airbnb with 21-year-old John Moises Chukagwise Ilbis. Surveillance footage showed Chukagwise Ilbis leaving the property during the early morning hours with Toikiza's limp, lifeless body draped over his shoulder. 4 days later, the victim's remains were found in a shallow grave in a nearby park. According to authorities, the suspect and victim are both Ecuadorian nationals who knew each other since childhood and went to elementary school together before migrating to the United States. They had both crossed into the U.S. illegally on separate occasions in 2023, and Toikiza was awaiting an asylum hearing when she was killed. On January 21st, Chakagwise Ilbis pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. He's scheduled to be sentenced in February and is expecting to face a term of 22 years to life, which is 3 years below the maximum. Number 8. Pokemon Card Brawl. As a highly coveted new pack of Pokemon cards hit the shelves of a Los Angeles Costco store for an unbeatable price, collectors and resellers clamored to get their hands on the merchandise, originally selling for $120 to $150. The 151 Blooming Waters Premium Collection packs were being advertised for less than $60. A fight broke out between two customers at Costco's Atwater Village, where an onlooker filmed a video of a man in a green jacket fighting with a man in a black hoodie, the latter of whom was carrying 2 packages of the cards. A woman could be heard yelling at the man to stop as the man in the black hoodie elbowed the man in the green jacket in an attempt to escape a bear hug. The crowd became increasingly unruly and someone yelled to call 911, but the police were not called to the scene, no arrests were made, and the store staff handled the incident internally. Number 7. Danielson Martins Paiva. 40-year-old Claudio Soares dos Santos was working as a supermarket manager in the Brazilian state of Mato Grosso on January 18th when he was attacked from behind by an employee's disgruntled husband. He was talking on his cell phone when the suspect, identified by law enforcement as Danielson Martins Paiva, whacked him in the head with a shovel. Surveillance footage shows Piva picking up the shovel from another section of the store before walking over to Dos Santos and knocking him to the floor. Bystanders detained Piva until the police arrived and took him into custody. In the meantime, Dos Santos was taken to the hospital. He later credited his cell phone with saving his life, telling reporters that if he hadn't been using it, the shovel would have hit him directly in the head. Piva, who remains in custody, told the cops that he attacked Dos Santos due to his wife's complaints about her manager at work. Dos Santos denied ever having contact with the woman, telling reporters that he typically delegates to department managers who manage their own work crews. Number 6. Grand Cartel Hotel Fire. At least 66 people are dead and more than 50 are injured after the 12-story Grand Cartel Hotel in Bolu province caught fire. Located at the Cartel Kaya Resort in the Koroglu Mountains, the hotel became engulfed in flames at around 3:30 a.m. on January 21st. There were 234 people staying at the 161-room hotel when the fire broke out. At least 2 victims jumped to their deaths, while others attempted to scale the building using bed sheets and blankets. The building became filled with smoke, making it difficult for guests to find the emergency exit, and witnesses claimed that the building's fire alarm failed to activate even though the hotel had passed inspections in 2021 and 2024. It took roughly an hour for firefighters to arrive at the scene, and at least 30 fire trucks showed up to combat the blaze. The cause of the fire is currently under investigation. Number 5.
Yo.
Shimon Duncan. A Cook County, Illinois sheriff's deputy was shot dead on January 18th during a visit to the Turks and Caicos Islands to celebrate her sister's birthday. 50-year-old Shimon Duncan and local resident Dario Stubbs were fatally struck by stray bullets at a rooftop party at around 10 p.m., while a third victim survived with injuries after undergoing emergency surgery. According to a law enforcement spokesperson, there is no evidence to suggest that any of the 3 victims were the targets of the shooting. The gunfire broke out during an argument amongst other individuals, and Duncan had the unfortunate luck of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. No arrests have been made in the case, and the investigation is ongoing. Number 4.
What the heck?
Laura Karen. A New Jersey school teacher is facing serious criminal charges for getting pregnant by an underage former student back in 2019. 34-year-old Laura Karen was in her late 20s when she told her friends she was expecting. She seemed excited and even threw herself a baby shower, but she was cryptic about the identity of the father, who she claimed was out of the picture. The child's paternity remained a secret until late 2024, when the child's grandfather noticed that the kid bore a striking resemblance to himself and his son. Further investigation by law enforcement confirmed the grandfather's suspicions, and the child's father confirmed that he had gotten Karen pregnant 5 years earlier. Karen first met the victim when he was one of her students. She remained close with his family and even housed the boy and his 2 siblings from 2016 to 2020. The child's father had remained in contact with Karen until his dad discovered the uncanny resemblance between his son and the victim. Karen was arrested in January on multiple charges and is free on her own recognizance as she awaits her next.
She had sex with one of her students and then had a baby shower, and then the baby was 5 and her family realized that, yo, this is crazy, bruh. That's crazy, bro. What the hell? These people are sick. Marrying on younger people is crazy, and there's no way at the age of 34 that she couldn't find somebody her age to get her pregnant.
Number 3. George
I don't
Lesniak.
get it.
Shortly after 6 p.m. on January 18th, 63-year-old George Lesniak fatally shot his wife of 34 years, 59-year-old Kathleen Lesniak, at the couple's home in Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. Police arrived to find both Kathleen and George dead from gunshot wounds. After murdering Kathleen, George had made an alarming Facebook post stating that he had killed his wife because she had admitted to having an affair. The post appeared in a group that George was an administrator of. In it, he wrote to figure this group out for yourselves, because he would no longer be around to help. Police reassured the public that there are no ongoing threats to the community as the investigation into the deeply tragic and complex incident continues. Number 2. Carlos Manuel Tejada. A Florida man is he shot into the air to ring in the new year, fatally struck a grandmother. 56-year-old Carmen Rosa Naira Ochoa was watching fireworks with her adult daughters on the back porch of her lakeside Kissimmee home when she felt a sudden, sharp pain. Her daughters and first responders performed life-saving measures, but she succumbed to her injuries and was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Investigators connected the incident to 44-year-old Carlos Manuel Tejada, who lived across the lake from Ochoa. 11 guns were seized from Tejada's home, and one of them turned up as a match to the bullet that killed the victim. According to law enforcement, Tejada, who has no prior criminal history, had fired a celebratory gunshot into the air to mark the occasion. 3 weeks after the incident, he was arrested on suspicion.
He, uh, see, look at that. All he did was shoot a gun up in the air, and the bullet came down and hit somebody, bro. That's crazy. There's probably a lot of people who died from shooting bullets in the air, bruh. Oh my God.
Of manslaughter by culpable negligence. Tejada remains in custody at the Osceola County Jail amid the ongoing case. Number 1.
Y'all imagine how many people die on New Year's by accident? It's probably at least more than 100, bro. Probably more than 1,000, bro. Probably more than 100 for sure, though.
Ezra Van Dam. Known to her OnlyFans followers as Azra Noor AV, 23-year-old Ezra Van Dam is facing an obscenity charge in Turkey after revealing her plans to sleep with over 100 men in 24 hours. In a tweet, she stated that she planned to first break the Turkish record and then the world record, the latter of which is currently held by OnlyFans star Bonnie Blue. But OnlyFans was banned in Turkey in 2023, and Istanbul's morality police quickly learned about Van Dam's announcement. She was arrested while waiting to get plastic surgery. Her husband, Pedram Bedar Van Dam, was also arrested but was later released without charges. Van Dam stated in court that she didn't deserve to be judged. Meanwhile, the prosecution...
How the hell do girls like this be having husbands, bro? I mean, she a freak, but like, why would you want your freak on, like, breaking challenges and her freakiness? So you saying you still gonna be with her after she have 100 guys? That's crazy work, bro. Like, what? This is stupid.
Pushed for prison time, arguing that Van Dam was provocative to society and damaging to moral values. The case appears to be ongoing.
In other countries, they don't play certain stuff like that, bruh. You gotta be mindful. It's your boy Gene with me. This video, goddamn, is crazy. If y'all like more videos like this, leave a like for me. Comment what I should react to next.